Hey now, welcome to Fitzdog Radio. I'm just back from Jesus Christ, Syracuse, New York. 7 degrees. It pretty much that's where the needle hovered for the 3 days I was in Syracuse, New York. And I flew in a night early because I was afraid there was that nor'easter that hit Boston really bad. I was afraid it was going to hit Syracuse, so I flew in a night early, which gave me 24 hours to do fucking nothing. And when I say nothing, I mean, no offense to Syracuse. I'm sure it's a great city, but not in January. No, not when it's 7 degrees. Not when my hotel, it was a Marriott, but for some reason it was fucking drafty. And it was a small room, and there was a hockey tournament going on. So every room was filled with these kids that were like, you know, drinking. They just had fucking coolers of beer they were dragging into their rooms, shit-faced till 2 a.m. in the hallways, hitting fucking tennis balls with hockey sticks against the wall, checking each other. It was insanity. And the hotel had no restaurant, but there was no restaurants nearby. I don't know what the club is thinking. They're putting me in a fucking hotel where you can't eat. So I have to get in a $15 Uber to go 1 mile because I ain't walking the 1 mile, not in that cold. So I'm taking an Uber to the fucking mall to eat Chinese food for breakfast. It was brutal. Brutal. So depressing. Just counting the minutes to come home. Crowds were nice. Thanks for coming out. You guys were great. They could take a punch. You can make fun of Syracuse to people from Syracuse, and they're on board. You can talk about abortions. I did a lot of new material about abortion, and they were behind it 1,000%. They're very pro-abortion. But, man, I'm not going to lie to you. I got a little depressed. And just the people, everybody's eating garbage food. And granted, I'm in a mall, but everybody was grossly overweight. No offense to the audience, but big. People are fucking big in Syracuse. And so I finish all this. I fly home. I'm watching the football games on my phone, which is no way to watch a football game. They look like little dots. The players are little dots. And but I was very happy with the outcome, with the Rams. I've never been I'm a big football fan, but I've never been a fan of one team that much. I was of the Giants way back when I was growing up. But I find it childish. I find it a little bit, you know, like the people that wave flags, just fucking love your family and maybe your neighbors, but then don't step it out any further than that. Just treat each person. We get too much of that groupthink. And being a sports fan, especially in LA where they fucking killed a guy from San Francisco in the parking lot at a Dodgers game. You know, there's a lot of that. Like, you can't go to LA sports games with a jersey from another city. And I think the same is true in Boston, probably Philly. And it's enough. I want to see good athletes play a good game. That's all. But that being said, I have found myself becoming a Rams fan in the last couple years. And now with Stafford in the last year, it's become super exciting. Odell Beckham Jr. now. And they're just such an exciting team. The young coach. And it was fun. I watched the second half of the Rams game on my couch properly on a big screen TV with a dog in my lap and junk food next to me and a wife who wouldn't come in the room. After all this depression, I come home and she's quarantining me because now she's got a new job as she's a doula, a postnatal doula. So she's taking care of a lady that just had a baby right now. So she's spending a lot of time holding the baby, and she's afraid that the baby's going to get COVID. What about me? What about me getting some action after coming back from Pittsburgh? Where is that on your list of things to do? Provide man with action. And some company. She leaves me alone in there. Jesus. So... Anyway, Listened to a lot of good music this weekend. That's all I did. Not gonna lie to you, I smoked a lot of pot. I'm not a big pothead, but I got a vape pen, and I was trapped in Syracuse. I was smoking a lot of marijuana, listening to music. I listened to a lot of Booker T and the MGs. If you want to just, I don't care what mood you're in, go to Spotify, listen to some Joe Rogan, and then listen to Booker T and the MGs, and just groove out. Just get your groove on. I listened to some John Lee Hooker, going back to the roots of rock. Some awesome John Lee Hooker. And then there's a band that, you know, you might feel like a pussy, but if you're in the right mood to hear some, it's kind of like Simon and Garfunkel sounding music, but they're called the Milk Carton Kids. It's real nice, but you got to be in the mood. If you're feeling cynical, you're going to not enjoy it. But they're great. What else? Peaky Blinders. I binge watched Peaky Blinders this weekend, and I realized it's Ray Donovan. It's the same show as Ray Donovan. It's the same show as every Irish family that's ever been depicted on TV. It's got the patriarch of the family who is all business, and yet he's got sex appeal, and he's got integrity, but at the same time he will break the rules. And then he's always got a dumb brother that he's taking care of. And then there's the father. The father left. He's gone. And now and he's a nightmare. He's a nightmare dad who is in trouble with the law, and who comes around, but you see where the protagonist gets his coolness from, because the dad was cool, and the mom still pines for the dad, even though he's gone, and even though she won't take him back, there's still a little sexual tension when the two of them are in the room together. It's Ray Donovan. They even have the scene with the son boxing the father. It happened in both fucking shows. And I've just started. And to be honest, I only watched Ray Donovan for maybe one season, and I've seen about 5 or 6 episodes of Peaky Blinders now. But it seems to me that the Irish are being stereotyped by the media. Can I say that as an Irishman? I don't resent it. I see it all the time. I see it with my family. I'm the protagonist. Sexy. Got the father that was an outlaw. Used to slap fight with my dad. Had a slap fight with my dad on Christmas morning. Just kidding around, like we were fucking around. But we used to go hard. And he backed me up. I was backing up, and the dishwasher was open. And the back of my knees hit the open dishwasher. And I fell onto the silverware. And I had knives sticking out of my ass. To this day, I've got a scar on my ass. Didn't go to the hospital because it was Christmas Day. And also, my family wasn't big on stitches in hospitals. I've got a mile of stitches on my body, but not as many as I should have. There's times I should have gone where I have scars. Anyway. What else? All right, let's get to some... I'm not going to waste a lot of time. Not waste. Look at me. Once again, diminishing my monologue. Just because some people timestamp when the interview begins, which is really insulting. I really couldn't care less. Some people maybe don't enjoy it. You can skip right ahead. Let's talk about, let's do some mail from you guys. I love getting mail from you guys. Fitzdog@gmail.com. I read and respond to everything. Read some stuff on the air. If you send it, know that it might be read. This was an Overheard, which is a segment that we do on the show, from Lucia Ribeiro. And she said, a young 20-something woman walking past me on the sidewalk says to her friend, also a woman, I've had interactions with other people where I feel like this uncontrollable openness. And first of all, that's a very female thing. I think that females really open up to each other. They really talk about their feelings. That's why they also sometimes break up. They have skirmishes and they don't talk to each other, because when you're that open and vulnerable, you can get hurt, which is why guys don't do it. We just watch sports and we slap fight. And also, why is it? I bet that woman probably drinks a lot. I'm thinking about how much I need to open up more to friends and family. And I think I need a fistful of mushrooms and maybe just listen to Astral Weeks by Van Morrison, Alone in a Field, over and over again, and journal. Maybe I'll do that one day this week. And then I'll be able to open up. I feel like I'm bottled up. I am petrified. I am not loose. I'm not flowing with my emotions. Part of it is that I don't do drugs. Pot certainly doesn't open me up. And I don't drink, and that's when most people really open up. You have a glass of wine or 3, and you open up with each other. Or guys do shots, and they fucking hug and say, I love you, dude. Why is it that the human condition requires us to alter our sobriety in order to trust enough to share how we feel? Why isn't our natural state to just... And again, like I just said it, you get hurt. You get hurt when you do that, but why does it hurt so much? I envy people that are able to open up, get hurt a little bit, stay open. That's my goal. That's my goal for 2022. Is that what year it is? Tricky, isn't it? 2022. Open up. All right, this one comes from Seth. The recent solo podcast was awesome. Having grown up just north of Boston, I always love hearing your takes on accent and attitude. A friend of mine was wearing a pink button-down shirt walking through a part of the city a few years ago, and someone took the time to stop in traffic, roll their window down, and yell out the window, "Nice shirt, faggot." I swear to God, there's not that many cities that happens in, but that is Boston, man. Holy shit. A pink shirt means you're a faggot. I remember Louis C.K. used to have this joke about, he's like, yeah, this guy said to me the other day, hey, nice faggy shirt. Nice faggoty shirt. And he's like, and I really was like, what's this guy's problem? And I remember the shirt. It was 2 guys blowing each other in the corner on the chest. But again, that's why we don't open up to each other, because people roll down the windows and call you a faggot. This comes from Michael Harrison. Grapefruit Simmons, how dare you? I love you, but you're like the 20th comic I heard misquoting Dave Chappelle. He did not say he's the GOAT. He said, some say he's the GOAT. Big difference. No, Michael, not a big difference. That's that Trump bullshit where he always goes, people are saying. No, you're saying. You're the one who's saying it. Stop distancing yourself by 1 degree and thinking that somehow that allows you to put information out there that you want out there without taking ownership of it. Chappelle was saying, I think I'm the GOAT. And I fucking hate a comedian saying that. You're better than Pryor? You're better than Carlin? I don't know. First of all, I don't think there's better or worse with comedy. Obviously, different people like different comedians. I love Chappelle. I think he is one of the greatest that's ever done it. And the conversation I was talking about, I was comparing him to Louie and just saying that I think that Louie is just as good. And this guy says, one thing Louie has not done, even though he's on the Mount Rushmore of comedy, is make you well up with emotion to the point of tears and have you laugh at the next line. That's masterful in a completely different way that Dave does that. Yeah, well, he does. And my critique of Dave is that he could work harder on fine-tuning material. I think maybe he puts out too many specials. I think he does too many 5-hour sets at clubs, and it's a little loose. I love Carlin. I love Louie. I like hard-crafted, tight jokes. I like Anthony Jeselnik. Stuff that has just been fucking honed down. And, yeah. Anyway, Dylan Caldwell says, hey, Greg, have you ever considered auditioning for the Joker in the next Batman movie? I believe with that smile and laugh, you could easily make Heath Ledger and Joaquin Phoenix look like amateurs. Get in touch with DC before they make the stupid decision to cast someone else. Well, thank you, Dylan. It's interesting. I do have a laugh that people have compared to the Joker and to Bill Burr. We seem to have a similar laugh. A couple of Irish guys from the Northeast. It's a little caught back in my throat. Maybe I don't emotionally let it flow out the way some people do. It kind of gets caught. Oh, why are we all so fucked up? Why do we all need to get better? We all need to get better. We all need to work on ourselves. We're not good enough. Does everybody feel that way, or is it just me? At 55, when do you just lock in and go, this is it, this is how I am, fuck it? I don't know. If you want to cheer me up, you can get yourself a premium membership of Fitzdog Radio. Go to fitzdog.com and you can get close to 1,000 back episodes at this point with people like Louie C.K., Zach Galifianakis, Sarah Silverman, Craig Robinson, Tiffany Haddish, big people. John Hamm. How about that? How about Carl Reiner? Yeah. Dates coming up. I will be in Lexington, Kentucky at Comedy Off-Broadway on February 24th through the 26th. The following night, February 27th, I will be in Omaha at the Waiting Room. And then St. Patrick's Day, if you're in LA, it's going to be big. Always sells out the St. Patrick's Day show at the Improv. Get your tickets now. Haven't announced the lineup yet, but we know Gibbons will be there. We know Gubbins will be there. It's going to be big. Also, look, you might have missed the betting on Sunday, but look, we know what's coming. Super Bowl Sunday. And my bookie's double deposit bonus makes sure you can get in on some good action. Sign up at MyBookie now. Use my promo code Fitzdog to have your first deposit matched instantly, so you can get in on all the action of the Super Bowl. Look, it's fun watch the Super Bowl, but even if you're just a casual bettor, this is the day that you bet. And with Double Your Money, you can double your winnings, and the best starting point for the big game is with the Super Bowl prop bets. Whether it's on or off the field, there's no shortage of wagers to choose from for the Super Bowl. So get in. There's fun bets. There's all kinds of interesting fun bets. So check out the website, see if any of them excite you, and maybe get in on the action. Don't miss out. Head to MyBookie and double your first deposit up to $1,000 by using promo code Fitzdog. Place your bets and get ready for the unmatched excitement of the Super Bowl. Bet anything, anytime, anywhere with MyBookie. Okay, here we go. I'm literally about to stop this recording and drive my car to the Comedy Store and meet up with Ari Shaffir and do a podcast. Who knows what's going to happen? The last time we did I don't know if it's the last time, but recently we did a podcast where we ended up waterboarding each other in a bathroom until we were both choking and spitting water out our noses and screaming in pain. So I don't know. I thought part of me was thinking about getting a taser gun for this one and tasing each other, but I've been on the road for 7 fucking weeks straight, and I'm finally home for a few weeks. So I didn't have time, but maybe we'll punch each other in the face. I don't know. But I love having Ari on. I remember the first time I did his podcast first, and he came to my house. He was just starting out, and he came to my house years ago, and I was like, wow, this guy's really something special. He's just like he's a seeker, you know. He's a journeyman. He's a guy who goes out there and lives life, and he's very brave. He has a strong ethical sense. He's a rabble-rouser, likes to stir it up. We need people like Ari Shaffir. So anyway, here it is. Me and Ari. Enjoy. Welcome to Fitzdog Radio, Ari Shaffir.
What's up, bro?
What's it like for you?
Seventh location I've done this podcast in with
That's
you.
Right.
It's got to be up there.
That's right. We did it in my house in when we were living in Mar Vista, and then we did it in New York at the Comedy Cellar.
Serious?
We did it at Sirius XM.
Yeah.
And now we're at the Comedy Store.
Yeah. And I think on Zoom, too.
Definitely on Zoom. Yeah, we did because you were living in, where were you, North Carolina or something?
Then I was at my parents' place.
Is that North Carolina?
No, we grew up in Maryland. North Carolina for a little while.
Yeah. So what's it like for you when you're getting ready to do Fitzdog Radio? Like, walk me through the morning of.
Okay. Well, you got to be prepared mentally. So normally you roll out of bed as a comedian, you kind of pride yourself, at least publicly, on not caring. Obviously, we do lots of push-ups and working out and writing seminars and tutoring. But like publicly, none of that is in the public eye. But those days, Fitzdog Radio days, you're going to bed at 8:30 p.m., getting up at like the crack of dawn.
You're right.
Calisthenics, a long rendition of the YMCA dance, and then backwards, so mentally and physically stay focused. And then
do you read the trades and People magazines? You're up on
the Tribune and such and such to be ready with some topical material and jokes. And
then do you go through my Wikipedia page?
Well, I like to see what you're up to. I've written a bunch of notes. Ruffle. And so those are all here, and I'm ready to go.
Some guys just show up, and I'm like, do you know what fucking podcast this is? Jesus Christ.
You're going to get launched, or you're going to lay left?
Yeah. I mean, I have launched the careers of nobody. Now, who have I had on before they got big? I had on a lot of big. Leslie Jones used to be like almost my sidekick for a bunch of years. Yeah, she came on a lot.
She was just like mired in failure.
Yeah.
And then just like, boom.
I wouldn't call being my sidekick mired in failure necessarily.
I'd stick with it.
She was so fucking. You know what?
What?
Leslie does a lot of different things. She hosts game shows. She does sketch comedy. She acts in movies. She does stand up. The best thing she does is podcasting. She is so because she has a life.
She's so wild too.
She's wild and she's opinionated, but she listens. She's a good laugher.
That's good.
I put her down as top 3 podcast guests of all time.
Yeah, damn, that's awesome.
Top 3. I would put Leslie Jones up there. I would put Andy Kindler up there.
You've had Epstein on here a lot too, right?
Jeffrey Epstein. That was for the Patreon.
Oh, okay. Patreon only.
Yeah, it's a Russian Patreon.
Okay. Sponsored by VPNs.
And I shouldn't really name my top 3 since I'll probably insult a bunch of people.
Remember when MySpace
Rob Corddry is probably up there also, yeah.
Remember when MySpace let you do top 4, and then people were like, that'll be cool. Name your top 4 friends, which just made so many fights. And they're like, all right, we'll do top 8. And that's just like, well, then you just move the line, but the fights are still going to be there.
Yeah.
From 7 to 10, that's where the NBA got it right. So we're like a little mini playoff to see who gets in.
Oh, is that what they did?
7, 8, 9, 10 plays for the 7 and 8 seed.
Oh.
That's what they do now.
Huh. Did you watch football yesterday? Damn. The last 2 weekends of football have been
so good.
The best games I've seen in my life.
Dude, Big J brought over some like shatter, some like those like torch weed things. I don't know, whatever it is. What is it? Concentrate, yeah. Lighting up with a fucking torch. And so we're smoking those. And then I'm watching Tom Brady, who I've forgiven up on hating the Patriots.
Yeah.
Like, I hated him for a while, but then it was like, at some point, you got to be like, nah, he's the best.
Yeah.
You try to be like, no, Montana was better. And then at some point, like, he's past that. He just wins another one. Like, all right. So now I'm just enjoying the greatest in still his, like, 15-year prime.
He had one of his best years of his life this year.
And then he's like getting the comeback, they get a fumble. I'm like, it's his chance, and I'm just like blown out on weed and just like super enjoying it. I'm like, is this game good or am I just high?
Yeah, right.
But it was, goddamn, it was good.
I mean, they've all been 3-point games. Every game has been won by a fucking field goal, mostly in overtime.
Yeah,
Jesus. And, I'm not...
Bills quarterback, I mean, I feel so bad for him. He had two 2-minute comeback winning touchdowns,
Right,
and then like not enough.
Yeah, you can't ask much more of the guy. It really was like a battle of quarterbacks. You know, this whole playoffs has been, and the great thing is that football for the last 10 years has been about the fucking the dinosaurs. Favre and
sticking around
Roethlisberger and Brady, and then all of a sudden, a couple years ago, this new breed of quarterback started coming out with Burrows and
that dude from the Bills, whatever his name is.
Yeah, why are we forgetting his name?
Smith, Josh Allen.
Yeah, and then
Mahomes,
the guy on the Chargers. What's the guy on the Chargers' name? Herbert.
Yeah.
This is the worst sports podcast of all time.
Two guys that know sports, like, I don't know, I like fun.
But that's the thing about sports is that I just love fucking watching sports.
It's great.
I don't read about it during the week. I don't talk about it with anybody.
That's great. Once you get into fantasy, you're a turd.
Yeah.
It's too much.
Yeah.
I used to edit my podcast when I do it myself on GarageBand and stuff, just all day on Sunday. I would at commercial breaks, just like do some editing.
Yeah.
And then it would be over 9 hours, but you just watch all football.
Yeah.
It was West Coast, so you get to start way earlier.
Yeah.
You wake up, the first game's already on. Mm-hmm. What do? You drink like an NA and sit there? Or not even?
Well, a lot of times I'm coming off the road, so I'll take the earliest flight I can get home, and I sleep on the flight. I go in the bathroom, I spank one out, and then I take a 2.5 milligram edible.
What?
That's it. Just a little taste.
Somebody gave me one of those at a wedding, and I was waiting, and then I'm like, he's like, how'd that fit? And I'm like, I don't know, man. And then he's like, and I saw the label. I'm like, oh, give me 7 of those.
Yeah.
What are you doing? He was acting so sly too.
But it works like a sleeping pill for me.
Yeah.
I take it and it just eases me into sleeping. And then I get home and I just sit on the couch and I just I don't like watching with other people. I like to just sit and watch it. And it's like my one thing a week that is just fucking for me.
Yeah. It's fun. I want to get back more into sports.
Yeah.
Not on this. I mean, it's just in general.
Yeah.
It was the best time of my life in college. Just did you see that game?
Yeah.
Too caught up with shit. Anyway.
Did you play sports growing up?
Basketball, Jewish private league. So I was a center, 6'3". I kept trying. I'm like, can I hit some threes? Get down low.
How old were you when you were 6'3"?
I mean, probably 15, 16.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah.
Wow.
Probably when I stopped growing, 16.
Damn.
When did you get 5'3"? Or someday soon? Sorry,
what are you, Bobby Lee?
What?
That's like a Bobby Lee kind of an insult.
Really? So you're right. I take it back.
I was 5'3". I was a late bloomer. I grew in college.
Did you really?
I'm only 5 foot.
Admiral.
I'm 5'8", and I grew in college. So when I was in high school, I weighed 120 pounds. It sucked.
Damn.
Dude, it sucked.
Did you wrestle?
I wrestled for about a month, and then I got an asthma attack because we had these mats. Remember the old mats that you roll them up and they were like a foam and they were like a half an inch thick?
Is it when you like that? Like you fold them over?
No, you roll them.
Oh, okay, no.
So we would unroll them and then the corners would roll up. So we took these big bags of some kind of substance and we dropped them down in the corners and it held them down. And this white powder would come out. Asbestos.
No way.
It was fucking asbestos.
Not even in the ceiling, just out?
Just out in bags. This is the 70s, man.
Wow.
And so I was out of school for a week with asthma attack.
That's probably why you're bald.
Yeah.
That's probably it.
Yeah.
You should sue
Right.
whoever makes asbestos.
So you're going after my height and now my hair?
Oh, dude, I'm bald too.
Let me see your hair.
It's going to be wild right now.
Oh, wow.
But that's what you mean.
Look
But I
at
surprised
that.
you. Yeah, what do you think?
I like it.
I did yesterday.
That looks like Sting's hair.
It's good when I just made it all blonde. It's good when you shave it and then a little bit of black grows back in.
To make it blonde, do you bleach it?
Yeah.
That's it.
That's it.
Did you do it yourself?
Yeah. Just mix it and sit there and take a shit. As soon as the blood stops,
Right.
you're ready to shower it out.
Yeah. Looks good.
Thanks. Yeah, I like it. I get made fun of a little because I'm around comedy, anything you do different.
That's so funny because to be a good comedian, you really need things that are different about you that you can talk about. And yet when you do it, every comic's like, oh, nice shirt.
It's the best. Every time, though, I'll get like a new suit or something, like something cool looking, and I'll have help from someone stylish, you know? And then I'll come in and like Keith Robinson or someone will just eviscerate you, and they'll be like, never wear that shit again. And I'm like, I will. I still think it's cool. And then the waitresses are like, I like it. I'm like, I know. I already know. I wasn't like, it's not high school where I'm like, maybe I can wear a fedora.
Right,
it's like, I'm already confident in it. You can't rob this from me.
I know. You look at some comics that are like Sebastian comes in with these fucking Italian outfits.
Oh my God.
Like
can
shiny.
you imagine dressing like Sebastian, the abuse you would take?
Yeah, right.
He rocks it.
He does. He fucking owns it.
I came with some bowling shoes. Me and Big J went drinking.
Yeah.
He asked me to do a show, and I was like, on the condition that we go drinking. He's like, I'll get a drink with you. I'm like, that's not what I said. I said we go drinking.
Yeah.
Because his chick is like sober now. I'm like, come on, dude, let's go.
Yeah.
So we did. Went from spot to spot, past a bowling alley randomly in New York. And we're like, oh, fuck, let's drink in there. And then we were both like, these shoes fit so well. As soon as we tried them on, we were both like, these fit perfectly. Are yours too? He's like, yes, mine too. They're so true to size. And then I was like, I want these. And he goes, I'm looking for you. And he goes, okay, I'm going to take your shoes so you can pretend you're more drunk than you are. So if we get caught, just be like, wait, what?
Yeah.
Well, where's my shoes?
Yeah.
And I'm like, idiot, I have them. What are you doing? Oh, I don't know. But then we were like setting it up, and then Jay's looking around. My back's to the whole staff.
Yeah.
And Jay's like, dude, nobody's looking or cares.
Yeah.
So we just walked right out.
And you left your shoes behind?
No, he took my shoes with.
Oh.
But then I started wearing them, and I saw Derek Gaines and Monroe Martin, two stylish young African-American gentlemen who are higher in style than white people.
Yeah.
I go, what do you guys think? And they both said, absolutely not. And I'm like, no, but imagine with like a button-down shirt, like we can imagine anything. The answer is no. And I wore them the next day. I'm like, look now. I'm like, yeah, man, I stick with it. That's awful. Those are bowling shoes.
Did it have a number on the back?
Yeah. I thought it's cool and like retro. And they're like, no, dude, they just look like bowling shoes.
Yeah, right.
I don't know.
I remember there was a time when bowling shoes were something.
Yeah.
There was that like Stray Cats time where people were dressing in zoot suits and bowling
zippers.
shoes.
It got big right after Swingers.
Yeah.
The dressing room, everybody was taking swing classes.
Right.
I love these like seismic shifts in like hipster culture.
Well, I remember when I was in 1996, I hosted a game show on MTV, and the wardrobe stylist was this fantastic gay guy. He was so... I mean, sometimes...
Love a wardrobe person.
Sometimes somebody's gay, and they have the gay job, and they have the gay outfit, and they're in a fucking good, solid relationship with another gay guy who's less gay than they are.
Yeah.
And you're just like, man, you're fucking nailing it. You are killing gay.
Yeah.
Like, I was just at Starbucks.
Doing your all.
I stopped at Starbucks, and the barista was a transvestite. Is that how you say it? Even when you say these words now, as they come out, you go, wait, do you say?
Is that right?
Do you
I
say
think transvestite's gone. I was thinking about it the other day. I think transvestites aren't around anymore, but what's a transvestite and where do they go?
Where do they go?
Wasn't Eddie Izzard a transvestite?
I think so.
Can those also be trannies?
No, nothing can be a tranny except for...
But I'm saying if you're bashing them.
Oh.
Or is that a tranv?
That's a tranv.
That's a tranv. Those can't be trannies.
Right.
Interesting.
I think that'll be on Wordle tomorrow, tranv.
What happened to transvestites? Because when we grew up, there were no transsexuals.
No.
There were transvestites, though.
Yeah.
And it was like, so what are you?
Yeah.
But I think transvestites like, I'm not even gay. I just love dresses. Or is that wrong?
Well, that's the thing is I think Eddie Izzard is married, isn't he?
I met her something down in Soho. What is that song? Lola?
Met a girl down in old Soho where they drink champagne and they...
That was a tranv.
Yes.
But also just happened to be gay.
Right.
I think what happened to these transsexuals before it was recognized what they were? What were they doing even? Were they just like, I'm just hella gay?
They're brave motherfuckers because they didn't fit in any category and they didn't have the support and they didn't have the awareness, and yet they still were like, I'm flying my freak flag.
My favorite is the ones that are like super like, fuck you, respect my homosexuality. And then 5 years later, like Elliot Page. Now they're like, okay, turns out I'm not gay at all. I was just some fucking dude.
Dude, I got into a fight with
Fuck these bags.
Yeah,
they went full hetero.
Yeah.
There's one, let's get him. I'm like, Elliot, calm down. Like, no, I'm making up for lost time. They're not gonna come into my neighborhood and queer shit up.
Got the fucking MAGA hat and tattoos. Just go all the way with it.
Look at these abs I got installed.
Wrap around sunglasses in a pickup truck. Just fucking hates everybody.
Yeah, just drawing a goatee on.
Yeah. I got in a fight with a gay kid in 8th grade.
Uh-huh.
And I remember he goes, and I was a fucking unenlightened, homophobic 8th grader.
Yeah.
And I called him gay, and he goes, if I'm a gay, I'm a good gay.
Oh.
In 8th grade, black kid.
What did that mean?
And man, he fucking owned it, man.
Right.
You know, and he lived in the projects, and he had cousins. He was part of a group of kids that had cousins.
Cuz they call it.
Yeah, and you don't.
What's up, cuz?
Yeah, you don't fuck with them because they got people that then come after you.
They're like velociraptors.
And I just can't imagine in that environment that he was accepted very much. But he said, if I'm a gay, I'm a good gay.
Imagine having 2 slurs on you.
Right.
2 bashings. Like, there's one. I'm like, wait, what is this for? Just so I know. For my therapist for years from now. I just want to know what this is for.
Yeah, what do I file this under? Is this extra credit?
They're like, oh, it's a simple robbery. We don't actually see skin color or gender or anything like that. This is just a simple robbery. We're just jumping him into a gang.
We're just assholes.
Yeah.
We're not really racist assholes. We're just assholes. Yeah. That's like my friends were in Atlantic City one time, and they got jumped by skinheads, and they were calling them kike and Jew. And my friends are not Jewish. I think they look Jewish, like Italian or whatever. And I was just like, I wonder if in that moment you defend yourself and go, hey, I'm not Jewish.
Or like, yeah.
Or do you just say, this is wrong that you're attacking me because you think I'm Jewish?
Yeah, should I just say I'm not?
Yeah.
Like, it shouldn't matter.
Right.
But I can use it.
Yeah. Pull out your dick. Look. Uncircumcised.
It's disgusting.
It's got a fucking collar.
It gets infected constantly. Beat me up for the right reasons.
Do you ever get any racism towards you for being Jewish?
A little bit. It was never that bad. That's why I'm hating this new. It's like the fucking pain Olympics. They're just, everyone's like looking to be victim of the culture so hard. And I'm like, I was taking pride in it for a while. I'm like, Jews aren't doing it. And now it's starting.
Right.
Before I left, actually, I read one blog about how some Jewish chick was like, she goes, I'm afraid to go out with my Jewish star necklace on. I tuck it in because I'm so afraid of getting beat up or something.
Yeah.
And me, I was an Orthodox Jew. I'm like, that's actually not there's no law associated with wearing a Jewish star necklace. You can just take it off.
Right.
You don't have to wear it out.
Right,
so
right.
the idea that like you're scared, but you're still wearing it and tucking it in, like that's moronic.
Yeah.
No, you're not.
Right.
And now they're starting it up again.
Plus, look at your nose.
Exactly. You think you're going to hide this? Dude, I was in Myanmar, and my friend was like, he's a nice photographer, and he was like, I didn't want to take because I want to be looked at as like a tourist. And then everyone's like, you're a 6'2" white guy in Burma. They're going to know.
Did you think there's going to be a pickup soccer game you were going to be in?
Literally, marketplaces stop when you come in. They'll be like, look, what the fuck is that?
Right. But did you ever experience it as a kid?
No, so one time on the bus, this older teenager, which seemed like adults. When you're 12 and there's a 17-year-old, that seems like a fucking,
And this was in Washington?
In Maryland, yeah. And they were on the bus behind me, and they had one of those like birds that drink the water,
Oh, yeah.
With the back.
Right,
it goes like this. And so they had just bought one from like Spencer Gifts or something.
Yeah.
And they were behind me, and they just kept going, Yarmulke Pecker. And I remember just being frozen and just like not vague memory of maybe my friend Chaim was next to me, but I'm not even sure. But just like, don't start. But they're just bullies.
Yeah.
And not even that bad. They didn't even push me or anything.
Yeah.
I think that was about it.
All right.
Maybe one guy yelled at us. I feel like half the time somebody yells a racial or, homophobic, or it's just like, this is what that guy will hate. Like the yeller doesn't care at all.
Oh, I think there's a lot of validity to that. I think that when you see, like, especially they call it a hate crime because you're fighting and you call the guy a faggot.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't even know he was gay. That's just something that you say to incite the other guy.
Yeah, exactly. Because that'll get him riled up, especially like in Boston back then. That's them's fighting words.
Right.
So it's like you just say that, and it's like, no, I'm using the gay struggle to get this guy upset, but I'm not homophobic.
I'm just tapping into the gay struggle.
It's like if you're spray painting, you're like somebody's house, like, who lives here? And you're like, what should I spray paint? They're like, choose like kike. That's what it'll be, you know. But if it's like, no, just some like women, like slut it is.
Yeah.
Like what, you know, it's just like you just need something to rile them up.
Right.
I don't know.
So maybe we got to get people to stop wanting to rile other people up, as opposed to trying to like foster understanding of the Hebrew culture.
Right. Fuck that.
Just let's deal with the real root, which is you feel anonymous, and you feel like by inciting anger in other people, you're going to be seen and felt.
Right. Getting an emotion from someone.
Right. That's the root of most racism. That's most of these people that are, QAnon, they don't believe this shit. They just love stirring up trouble.
Or they'll constantly meet like a Jew or a black person and they'll be like, well, you're one of the good ones. I'm like, they're all like that.
Yeah.
There's like a small percentage that are not whatever it is you think. Dude, my best friend in college, Gay Andrew, we called him. Uh-huh. Just because we had 2 Andrews in the dorm, but like, wears all purple, effeminate.
Yeah.
And we were studying at my place once. My dad met him a bunch of times, old school Romanian Jew. And then it came up like 6 months later that he was gay. My dad was like, he's gay? I'm like, you can't be any more gay.
Yeah.
And in his like old school mind, he's like, I don't know what it actually looks like.
Yeah.
It's just like, I just know it's a bad word.
Wow.
But like.
Did your dad meet more gay people in his life after that?
He turned. Yeah. He went to start going to nightclubs and really like, looking for cock wherever he could get it.
Your dad?
Once he saw Andrew was cool enough, he's like, maybe this whole lifestyle is not bad.
They are infectious.
Yeah, he started dancing.
Yeah.
Doing a lot of like poppers and stuff. Yeah, he really let loose for a while.
Yeah, I remember meeting a gay kid in college and being like thinking to myself, because I always thought that I would suck a dick at some point just to do it.
Yeah.
And this one kid, he was gay, and he was like, clean gay, like not hairy, not masculine, like he was a soft man. And I thought, if I'm gonna suck a dick,
that's the kind.
It's Eric's dick.
Yeah. And
then like I remember we were alone one time, we were drinking, and I was just like thinking, all right, should I see if I could suck his dick? And then I was just like, I really have no desire. I just don't have any. The only reason I want to do it is just to say I did it.
Yeah.
And that's not fair to Eric. Although he's got his dick sucked.
Yeah. Eric was like, I'm cool with it, man. Experiment. Do what you got to do. Do you remember in high school trying to get like a female friend of yours, like, can you just like coach me through what like a makeout would be, just so I'm good when I do meet a girl?
Oh, nice move.
Yeah, they saw through it. They always saw through it.
Yeah.
Like, you just want to hook up.
Yeah. I know you do well with the ladies now.
Now.
But you didn't back then.
No way.
No.
Sharad's always like, I'm watching you. It doesn't seem right, the level you pull.
It's not right. Mm-mm. No. And they're quality women. Are you still with your girlfriend?
It's been over for a while.
No, really?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry, man. I know that was a good run you had going there.
Yeah, it wasn't bad.
How long were you guys together?
A couple of years.
Jesus.
Yeah.
How did it end? Do you want to talk about it?
Murder-suicide.
She killed herself and then you murdered somebody?
Yeah, exactly. And I got away with it too because there's no kids around. No, it was fine. Just ended.
This girl just killed herself yesterday.
Who?
She was Miss USA, this black woman, and she was a fucking lawyer. She was 30 years old.
No way.
Beautiful. She had a job working on Extra or one of those shows, E.T. or whatever. And she fucking jumped off the 34th story of a building in New York in Times Square.
What?
Yeah.
Dude, I mean, I just want to know. I don't even want to stop people from doing it because I'm like, you've thought it through. But just like, what's going on in your head? I just want to talk to him for like an hour beforehand.
Yeah.
What's going on in there? Like, I'm not going to try to stop you, but like, is it just hopeless?
Yeah.
Or is it like, did you know her? Or you just heard about it?
No, I just read about it. It really affected me, though. I almost got tears in my eyes because I just thought about all the odds this girl overcame.
Yeah.
You know?
Black Miss America.
Lawyer.
Zero chance. And lawyer.
Yeah.
When we were growing up, zero chance of almost either of those.
Right.
Lawyer, yeah. Not Miss America. No way.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
And she kills us. Remember that poem they had us read in high school about the guy who everybody was jealous of? He did everything right. A real gentleman.
Uh-huh.
Did everything right. And then, my phone's in there. And then one day, like John Brown, something like that. And one day he put a bullet in his head. Put a bullet in his, I don't know, whatever
What
it
kind
was.
of fucking school did you go to? Was this at a Jewish school?
It was, but it was canon. It was American literature.
Yeah?
Yeah, for sure. Damn. It was about this guy who everybody thought was perfect. The ladies loved him.
Yeah.
And then it was like, and then one day he just killed himself. I forget how, but it was all like, rhymed and shit. But it was about like, hey, things aren't as cool as it seems from the outside.
Right.
Like, whatever you think his life is. That's just mental disabilities now, though.
Well,
I see it.
the problem with a lot of times that's coming from depression.
Yeah.
And the problem with depression is a great book by William Styron called Darkness Visible. And he goes into he had depression for decades.
Damn.
And didn't write
How
as
does
much
he
as
not
he could
kill
have.
himself?
Well, I mean, one of the greatest fucking writers. Didn't he write Sophie's Choice?
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
And so he talks about how the worst part about depression is there's no end date. You don't think it's going to end. And so you
that's what I
think
mean.
if
Why
I'm
don't
going
you
to
kill
stay
yourself?
like
Yeah.
this all the time, why would I stay alive?
I
So you
remember it
end
just being like waiting to work up the courage to do it.
Yeah.
But it's like, I don't want to do this game anymore. It's just like, it's not fun.
Yeah.
We're getting blown out. It's raining.
Right.
We're down 57-7.
Right.
In the beginning, midway through the third, I'm like, can we just go?
Yeah.
That's how it feels.
Yeah.
And you just want to, so I'm like, I've had it for a few years, decades. After 10 years, you're like, yeah, I'm done.
Yeah.
Just
right.
do it already.
And you don't want to be in their minds. A lot of them don't want to be a drain on the people around them, but they don't realize the fucking trauma they're causing by killing themselves.
I remember Patton once after Brody died, he like tweeted like, hey, if you're suffering, like reach out. No offense to Patton, but just like the idea, it's like, oh, they're not going to reach out.
That's the last thing somebody with depression. I can tell you, as somebody with lifelong depression, people always say, "Why didn't you tell me you were so down?" Because I'll tell them I was just down.
Going to bum you out?
It doesn't help me, and it's only going to make you feel bad.
Yeah.
The only thing I can do is just fucking go down with it. I've learned over the years that if you try to avoid feeling the depression, it makes it last longer. So you have to give yourself a couple days or however long to just go down. Maybe sit on the couch and watch a movie, fucking
feel bad.
Do whatever. Try to force yourself to work out. That helps a lot.
Yeah. Damn. I'm hated those times.
Yeah.
You still have it?
Oh, fuck yeah. And you should have seen me in Pittsburgh this weekend. Oh.
Oh, really?
It was bad.
What do? You just go down a hole?
I go down the hole and I start... I do cognitive behavioral therapy, which is all about changing the thoughts. Like you have the thought and you question it. And you go, all right, you're saying that you have no future, but here's 3 examples of things that are
wrong.
happening.
Right.
And so you cross-examine yourself and you write it down. And then you walk out of it feeling like, okay, this is my mind fucking with me right now.
Right, where you're like, like, that's ridiculous what I'm saying.
Yes.
You ever say something out loud that you decided years ago, and now you're saying it out loud now, and as it's coming out of your mouth for the first time, something you've said is just a given, you've accepted it. As it's coming out of your mouth, like, oh, that's no way that's true.
Like what?
Oh, I know. Somebody was talking about Kanye West's new album, and Donda. I don't know if you heard about it. He goes, that's his mother's heartbeat as she was dying. Donda, 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 Donda. And I'm like, that's not true. Where he wasn't there when she was getting plastic surgery. And they were like, yep, you're right. It's fake. As soon as it's like, they were sure it's true. And they're like, positive it's not true. Shit like that. Or like, I don't know. There's so many more examples of like other people, but it's like, I don't know. You just say something and you're like, yeah, that's just wrong. I get it now.
Oh, you're saying you blurt out something that you know isn't true.
Or no, you say something that you think is true, but as you hear yourself say it out loud, or anyone say it out loud, but it's yourself, it just hits you like, no way.
Right. Yeah.
There was one in, they said, well, this is just outward stuff, not me, but they said in Flashdance, it was behind the music in Flashdance. And I quoted it a little bit. Like people were like, they were so into it. It might have been Footloose, but like I think Flashdance, people were dancing in the aisles of like movie theater. Nope. No way. Nope. Zero chance.
That's not true.
No, I've been in enough movies now. Zero chance. Nope. Who's gonna just getting up like, hey babe, this movie?
Yeah, there has to be a first person.
We got an aisle seat. I don't know. Is this wild? Can we just dance down in a dark movie theater? Are you out of your mind? No fucking way. No, zero chance.
Most people in the theater are grumpy.
Be quiet.
They didn't want to go to this movie. The girlfriend dragged him. He's not into a musical.
Spinning this chick back and forth.
Yeah.
Fuck off.
Right.
Yeah, exactly. It's a musical.
They're dancing in the aisles. Yeah. Broadway, maybe.
Maybe.
Because everyone's gay in the audience.
Yeah, they really are. Even though they're not, they're still gay.
Yeah. But no.
Yeah, that's cool though. Cognitive, you hit it and you're like, is this true? And you're like, no, that's probably my mind fucking with me. That's what I do with drugs. When I'm start like, hey, I think I OD'd on mushrooms or something like that, that I go, well, hey, remember when you're sober and you researched that you can't?
Yeah.
And you're like, okay.
Right.
Well, why do I feel this way? It's like, because of the drugs.
Right.
Like, okay.
Right.
You're fine then.
Yeah. Right. And there's like 10 cognitive distortions that you study so you can recognize when it's happening, like all or nothing thinking. When you go like, I never get auditions, and then you stop and you go, okay, you just auditioned like 2 months ago for something. And so it's literally not never.
Yeah.
And then there's amplification, where you make something bigger than it really is. There's
The internet does that to you too.
Yeah.
It makes everything seem massive.
Right. And minimizing, which is taking something really big that you've done and dismissing it, marginalizing it.
Interesting. Damn, we do all those things here or there.
Yeah.
And so like that didn't count for, I used to say like, before I started really traveling, 30, good call.
Thank you. We're halfway there.
Okay. Before I really started traveling, I was like, I've never really gone anywhere. And they're like, didn't you live in Israel for 2 years? And I'm like, yeah, but that doesn't count. They're like, why wouldn't that count?
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't know. You just take things for granted once you've done them.
Right. And so that's why lists of gratitude go with CBT also. I have a note on my phone, in the notepad thing. And I add when I do something, like even if it's something like you fucking showed up for that Late Show Friday. You were in a bad mood. There was a small crowd. They weren't a good crowd. The opener ate it. And you went on stage and you gave 100%. It doesn't even matter how the show turned out, but that I showed up for it. I put that down as a win.
Wow.
And you keep track of your wins. And then when you're really going down, you review it.
I've done a lot of cool stuff lately. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow, that's a good one.
Yeah.
Damn, that's a good one.
What are some wins you've had lately?
Yeah, that when you just said that, it's a new thing I'm trying to do where it's like if I'm in a bad mood or something happened, I'm like, this crowd doesn't know. Or this crowd doesn't know that no one's going out in New York right now. These 20 people are here. So like, let's do it.
Yeah.
I remember watching Rogan once in the OR when I was like brand new, and I saw like comic after comic failing in a bad room. It was Caponera, who's always hilarious.
Yeah.
Then Ralphie just eating it. And then Rogan did like, the vague memory, but like 30 or 40 seconds. And he got a look on his face. Like he looked at him like, and then it's almost like saying like, no. And then he just hit it way harder.
Yeah.
And it made me think like, oh, there's always an angle to doing well in any room.
Yeah.
Like I didn't think on this room it was, and then he found it.
Right.
You did that when I was doing outside shows, and everyone's sucking a dick, and then you started making fun of just random people walking by.
Yeah.
And I'm like, damn, so fucking, that would have been a win.
Yeah.
I'm like, this show is terrible. And Fitzsimmons made it into something fun.
Oh, thanks, man. Yeah.
I'll tell you one off the air that I just had, like grouping it together.
Yeah. Are we going to talk about Rogan at all?
Fuck him.
Fucking asshole.
Misinformation.
Oh, man, take a look at my life. I'm a lot like you.
I'll tell you about some misinformation. He said, smoke this, it'll be fine. And then it wasn't fine. I got too high and I couldn't perform well. So all these guys are like, oh, I trust him. No. He lied to my face. Yeah, misinformation. Fuck COVID. That's not real. But that weed shit, dude, that's not cool.
He put on some music one day. He was like, no, I'm telling you got to listen to Bon Jovi again. It's good. And we were shooting pool, and he put it on, and it fucking sucked.
It sucked. I knew it sucked. And I pretended it was cool. For you. You put me in a weird place.
Fucking misinformation.
Yeah, you were paying for the pool, so I said okay. But it wasn't. It wasn't. It bothered me for months.
You told me I should do 7 sets of fucking curls. I couldn't straighten my arms for a week. That was fucking bad information.
That is one of those things that he gives you workout advice based on him.
Yeah.
And then you're like, was doing those kettlebells, and I'm like, here really hurt. He goes, you're doing them wrong. I'm like, well, that was always in the cards. Me doing it wrong was never not going to happen.
Right.
Damn, I can't believe it. All these people are so mad at him. All he does is have people on and say, okay, you talk.
On. I mean, I hate to, you're going to hear from the other side a lot is that Neil Young was the guy who was a big genetically modified food guy who was saying, without science behind him, that it was creating autism in babies and children.
Really?
Yeah, he was saying, and meanwhile, science has not backed any of that stuff. I'm not
the autism stuff.
I'm not a fan of genetically modified food because I think that we're not watching it as well as we can. But there is no science backing up all of his claims, and it caused the kind of skepticism in science that has bred people to be anti-vaxxers. Yeah.
And also as an artist, I guess he doesn't view podcasting as an art form or interviewing as an art form. Because otherwise, how could he be like, lose them or you lose me?
Right.
Like, who would take that stance artistically?
Do you think he said that about Leonard Skinner when Spotify first came out?
Like one of those battles. It's so nuts. It's so nuts. And also, it's like, trust the science. And I'm like, the science is conflicting. I don't know. It's like, why would you trust Rogan? I always get this because it's like, I don't know, he's interviewed dozens of experts on things.
Yeah.
What makes you more qualified to say? If somebody wrote a book, like, well, did you research it all? I'm like, I interviewed 25 scientists on the subject. Like, okay.
Yeah.
Joe's done that. I don't know what else would qualify him to have an opinion. Well, way more than me, which is like, CDC says.
Yeah. Did you see the video he put out today?
I heard that he was just like, oh, maybe I'll try to cut some people from the other side. I don't know.
Yeah, it was very generous of him.
He's always nice about those things.
Yeah, he was very nice about it. And it was, I thought it was very well done. And he just said that maybe he should have, the thing about Joe is, it's a one-man band. Well, it's him and Jamie.
Yeah.
There's not a booker, there's not a producer, there's not an engineer, there's not an editor. There's just him and Jamie. That's it. And so when he books the show, he doesn't do it the way maybe another show, which was a daily, like maybe the Daily Show might have a Republican one night and Democrat the next night or whatever.
With politicians.
But he doesn't do it like, he doesn't have he's not spending so much time booking that he's trying to like alternate to keep it even.
Mm-hmm. Joe's also a notorious contrarian. So there was this old UFC highlight where they were doing behind the scenes with Dana, and I was just there. And he goes, what do you think about this fight? It was John Jones versus somebody who wasn't nearly as good as John Jones. And Joe goes, that guy's a good puncher, man. And when there's a puncher, you got to have a chance. And it's like, he's got to watch out for those, let's just say it was Bob Smith. And Bob Smith can punch, and he can knock you out in one blow. So you really got to be careful of that. And then I go, hey, can I just break in here? And Dana, the guy's like, yeah. I'm like, anytime Joe gives it up for the underdog, he thinks the favorite will win. He's just saying, it's 98%, but let me talk about the 2%.
Right.
So I think with guys like that, when he hears nonstop about like, you have to wear a mask no matter what.
Yeah.
You have to get this vaccine no matter what. He goes, well, hold on. What do you mean no matter what? What about in these situations? And then he'll only focus on those. So, I mean, I talked to him like, well, my parents should get vaccinated, right? And he goes, yeah, they're old for sure. And he wasn't like, I don't know. He goes, for sure, they should be.
Yeah.
I'm like, all right, you'd probably say that too.
Right.
But like, yeah, I don't know. He's a contrarian. So
I think he's in a position now where
I hate it.
In this kind of culture, people find a lightning rod, and he is it right now. You got a lot of people coming after him right now who don't listen to the show, who don't know
headline shit.
And it's like the show. The genesis of the show was just him talking to people because he likes interesting conversations. He never. He used to have
weirdos. He used to have people like, I believe dinosaurs are still here. He goes, oh yeah,
right.
Yeah. I mean, there's no health problems for that.
Right.
Like, I'll tell you what though, when I got COVID, I called him instantly.
Did you?
Absolutely. When I have knee pain, I call him.
Yeah.
When I had a fucking ringworm and I had a staph infection.
You get a lot of shit.
Yeah, when I was doing jiu-jitsu, he was like, dude, you have a staph infection. Get to the hospital now. I'm like, I'll go tomorrow. He goes, no, you're limping.
Yeah.
You need to go now.
Right.
Like, what do you mean? What do guys do? You trust your friend.
Yeah.
Have you had this before? Look at this growth. And you're
Yeah.
like, your friend will tell you.
Right.
Oh, my buddy had that.
Right.
And I don't know. He knows medicine and vitamins.
Yeah.
I don't know. Why would you trust him?
You're right. Interesting.
I wouldn't trust Joe Rogan on anything. I'm like, not even MMA.
Right.
You guys are nuts.
Yeah.
I don't know. But yeah, he hooked me up with all this shit. Ivermectin, all these drips, all these like antibody
He
drips.
did?
Oh yeah. It
No
was great.
shit.
It was great.
How did he get it to you?
I had the ivermectin from before.
Yeah.
And then I talked to a nurse and she prescribed ivermectin. She
Nice.
goes, how much do you weigh? That wasn't the main thing. That was just a stopgap thing.
Yeah.
She's like, how much do you weigh? I was like 180 or 85. She goes, okay. She did the math on it. She goes, you want 18 milligrams. And she goes, they come in 3 or 6. I was like, I already have some. She goes, oh, cool. How many milligrams is that? I'm like, 12. She goes, 12? How'd you get? No, it comes in 3 or 6. How'd you get a 12? I'm like, I ordered it from India. She goes, what? Who told you to order from India? I'm like, my buddy Joe. And she goes, oh, all right. I know what you're talking about. Well, cut one in half. Take one and a half.
Hilarious.
Yeah, and then all these like drips Florida had all these monoclonal drips. It just shoots you full of antibodies.
Yeah.
And it was like super available there when I got it.
All right.
So got that too. And I tested negative like in 2 days.
Damn.
Never had any problems.
Dude, I have no idea how I did not get COVID. I've been on the road nonstop all year in front of crowds of people fucking laughing in my direction.
Yeah.
In theory.
I mean, in the beginning, they're like, that will give you will get it.
Yeah. Airplanes.
And plus, you're double exposed because you're anorexia.
My anorexia and my baldness and my height. Yeah.
Exactly.
It's a lot to go against.
You killed me on that Bobby Lee line. Now I'm like second guessing it. Stayed away from age on purpose.
Oh, the age thing. Jesus.
I don't know.
It's weird. And then I have neighbors that are in their 70s. And so and she's compromised. She has some health issues. And so, I walk by their yard and our dogs play together, and he wouldn't let me in the yard once the virus started. And he would sit out front, and not
even in the yard.
Not even in the yard. And once a week, he would go to the grocery store at 7:30 in the morning when it opened. So he was the first one there and not see anybody. And they both got fucking COVID.
Wow.
It's so fucking weird.
Oh my God.
It's so random.
Yeah, they're mad at Joe, though.
Yeah.
Here's a weird thing. They say, like, with great power comes great responsibility. They apply that to him. Mm-hmm. You have this big platform now. They wouldn't bother one of us. Yeah. I had a full anti-vaxxer. It'll kill you. They have magnets in your blood now.
Right.
If I did fully one of those, they wouldn't bother me.
Yeah.
But with him, they put that label on him. But in his mind, he's like, yeah, well, this is what I see. So my responsibility is saying what I feel is true.
Yeah.
Not saying what you want me to say is true.
Right.
I don't know. I just know there's a lot of fucking shit going on with this thing.
Yeah. Just
from the beginning, don't wear masks. Because like, okay, we just had to tell you that because we needed them for the hospital. It's like, damn, right from the start. And I was like, now wear a mask. Like, okay. I don't know.
Oh, you mean because they didn't have enough to go around?
Yeah,
so
but it's instead of saying, hey, we need these, so don't waste them for a minute, they go, it won't do anything.
Right.
It's like, so you're getting us to do what you want through lying.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
I'm going to Austin in a couple weeks. See if things have died down by then.
I think it's over. I feel like it's over. You
Yeah.
see what England did?
What?
No COVID rules.
Yeah.
They went to 0 restrictions.
No shit.
Yeah. Oh, it was great.
Wow. Pubs are open. No
Everything.
masks.
No masks. It's like you can wear them if you want, but like no
Can
one
you
can make you wear
imagine
them.
how fun it would be to be in London right now?
They're going nuts.
Yeah.
Remember when we opened up the bars that first summer in Wisconsin? You see people like hanging on. It was like the fucking last chopper out of fucking Afghanistan.
Right.
They're hanging on. Just let me have one bit. And it was like, guys, ease into it. Like, nah, we don't got that.
Right. And then we had a fucking resurgence immediately after. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I don't know what LA's...
They caught Boris Johnson. So he was like, hey, no parties. We're doing restrictions. No, taking control kind of shit. And then they caught him at a party.
No. he had a series of garden parties.
Yeah, and he goes, no, that was just my office workers. And they're like, no, well, here's video. There's 180 people there.
Right.
And then they go, well, you got to step down because you disobey the rules. Why can you party and we can't? He goes, you're right. I'm not going to step down. You can all party. So now
is that what he did?
Yeah, so no restrictions.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
I didn't put that together.
Yeah, it was great.
Yeah, no, it was like, it's so funny because with the Brexit thing, with all the things that have happened under his watch, he still had his popularity, and then having a fucking party.
When we can't,
it was same thing happened to Gavin Newsom. I mean, that one dinner he went to cost him more fucking political points.
And like, what do? You got to be 100% on this. It sucks, but you got to be 100% all the time.
Right.
If you claim that.
Yeah. You got to be a model. I'm far from a model.
Yeah. I'm trying to do a bit about how if I was a president, I'd be for sure one term only, and I'd be like, I just lean into it. I'm like, I'm going to do nothing.
Yeah.
I'm just going to have crazy parties.
All right.
And just do no work for the country and just like accept that it's a one term. So it's like I'm in my second term to start with.
Right. I think being a mayor, that's a good job to do that with, because then you're in the city, you got access.
People
you go
can
to
be
every
like,
fucking...
right this way, Mayor. I'm like, you can't get a seat for me?
Yeah.
Sure?
Right.
I'm Mayor Shaffir.
Right.
Yeah, well, they're almost done. Kick them out.
Yeah.
Okay.
You got city workers putting a deck on the back of your house. Another one sealing the driveway.
Yeah. And they're like, well, that's not for you. I'm like, oh, well.
So don't vote me in next time.
That would be great. That would be great.
So I was thinking about, like, my friend is a 49ers fan, and he was so upset.
Oh.
And then my other friend is a Rams fan, and he's like, I've been a fan of the Rams since they were in L.A. back in the in the 70s when I was a kid. I was a fan of them, and I stayed a fan when they were in St. Louis, and I'm a fan now. And it's like, who cares?
Yeah,
why do people think that they think you're going to drop down and go, oh my God, wow.
Yeah.
Wow,
okay.
You're awesome.
As opposed to people like, hey, they came to LA, so I was like, oh, I need a football team. I'll just choose them.
Yeah.
7 years ago.
Right.
What's the difference?
Yeah. And it's like, meanwhile, if it's a shit team,
nobody says a word.
Nobody says nobody's been a fan of Detroit Lions since the 70s.
Joe List always shits on me every time because I grew up in North Carolina till 4th grade. We had no teams.
Yeah.
So you have to pick teams.
Right.
So I was born in New York, so I was like Yankees, I guess. America's team was the Cowboys.
Yeah.
But nobody said a word during the 90s when they won one game. Nobody was like, well, you shouldn't be a Cowboys fan.
Yeah.
Picked up hockey once I got to D.C., so I was like, oh, I'll be a Caps fan, I guess.
Yeah.
And then no basketball team, so I just liked the Hornets when they got there, and then now they moved to New Orleans. But Joe's like, you shouldn't be a Yankees fan. You shouldn't be a Cowboys fan. You should be a Ravens fan. I'm like, I'll tell my second grader self.
Yeah.
I'll go back to second grade and tell myself to hold out because Joe List is going to make fun of me later. That I should have switched when I got to Maryland.
Yeah, right.
Fucking idiots.
No, I've been a Rams fan since I was a kid.
Really?
Because I liked the helmets when I was 6 years old. I thought it was a cool helmet.
No, you should be a New England Patriots fan.
Right.
And you're like, look, if he would have had 6 fucking Super Bowls to cheer for.
Yeah. No, I think
they have cool helmets.
I think they're great fucking helmets, and they had a guy named Jack Youngblood, and when you're 6, you're like Youngblood, like you just think
native?
That's cool.
How'd you get that name?
Maybe he was.
What a cool name.
And then there was
Dickerson
that
was
movie
so
Brian
cool.
song.
Was that about the Rams?
And I think it was about the Rams.
What was that guy? Guy got injured and then he became crippled and then he gave
got
a speech.
cancer and maybe it wasn't the Rams. Maybe it was the Rams. I can't remember. But it's all random, and it is fun to be a fan of a team, but like I am a fan of just good games.
Yeah.
I can watch any two teams play.
It's fun when your team's out of the playoffs and then you're just like watching that Brady comeback. I'm hoping they win.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, and everyone else was like, do you care? I'm like, no, I don't care, but I won't be hurt by it if they don't.
Right.
But it's fun to root. And she's like, wow.
Yeah.
Look at this. Or just pitcher versus, bases loaded, 2 outs in the 9th.
Yeah.
Up 1, and it's like, let's go. We're just going to see a matchup.
And then let me read an article about the game in advance so I know who the players are, what the backstory is, what the rivalry is, and then I can go like, all right, I know the first act of the play. Let's watch the second and the third act of the play.
The UFC's good at that. A few episodes ahead, they'll say like, we got a coming fight. And so it's like, this guy's representing Mexico. And they kind of give it to, by the time it comes, like 3 months later, you're like, oh, that's that guy. I love him.
That's why when you watch the Super Bowl, I hate Super Bowl parties because it's always filled with people that know one fact. There's like
I can't
one
wait
fact.
to break them out.
Yeah. Oh, this kicker's wife died of leukemia 3 years ago, and then every time it's a kick. Oh, the kick. His wife. We know.
Yeah. You told us.
Yeah. And then you got the poor fat guy who's been watching the team every week, reading the blogs, knows about fucking
stats in
nickelback defenses and.
Where's your leukemia fact, loser? Nobody understands your fucking dime defense package. Nobody understands what you're talking about. Where's your fun fact about this guy's mom? Thank God the fucking kneeling shit is done now.
The what?
The kneeling shit is done. They're not talking about it. They all put their dumb sayings on their back. It's like, fine, whatever.
Right.
It was so fucking retarded to begin with. And now it's like, just get back to football.
You know what I want to get rid of?
What?
The fucking military. The nods to the military constantly throughout the game.
Oh, they gave this guy a house. So all the homeless guy outside my house, that's all taken care of.
Yeah.
Because this dude got a house from fucking Sherwin-Williams Real Estate.
Yeah, right.
Ugh.
Such
they
bullshit.
trot a dude out.
Yeah.
They reunite him with his daughter or his wife. Everyone's like, yeah!
Yeah.
And then, like, you don't see a fucking child in Afghanistan, like, bleeding out.
He died from a drone strike last week that we didn't hear about.
Yeah.
Because the news doesn't cover it.
Yeah, or half his friends that come back with one leg.
Yeah.
Ugh.
You know that those are all paid for.
Yeah, by the
military. It started in like, I can't remember when it started, but it was like in the 70s, they realized like, we need recruits. We need to start brainwashing America. Where can we find young men?
And you're watching
sports.
a game with your dad, you see everybody clap for this dude in a nice uniform. You're like,
yeah,
that goes in my head.
And that's paid for by the military. I mean, what does sports have to do with the military?
Nothing.
Yeah.
Zip, except for that one dude fucking quit sports to go get killed in some random desert country.
Right. That was during Kuwait. Yeah.
Yeah, early
not
9/11, right after 9/11.
Iraq, yeah.
People say they killed him on purpose because he started to say like, "Oh, this war is pointless," and he was a big mouthpiece, so you can't be a mouthpiece against.
Oh, no shit.
Because they were like, you can hear the stuff. It's like, you know who this is? It's Pat Tillman. Quit firing. It's us. And they were like, just plugging away.
Are you putting out misinformation on my podcast?
No, that's a real theory.
What if Neil Young drops me?
What is misinformation? You mean wrong? What is misinformation? God damn. I love when I go on Rogan's podcast because he has a guy there checking all the time.
Yeah.
And you say something, and like, James, is that true? It's like, actually, look it up. I've just been quoting something. And then half the time I'll be like, no, it's a myth.
We got Tony. He's been correcting some stuff for us, right?
Here or there. He gave us Tillman. He got some sports references. He likes football.
You like football? All right, let's play a game where we test Tony.
Okay.
And if you get 2 out of 3 right, Tony, I'll give you $10. You want lunch? All right. Well, you can spend the $10 on whatever you want.
Yeah.
All right. Do you have a mic you can turn on in there? No. All right. We'll interpret. All right. What is the capital of Washington State?
What are you looking down for? Don't look down.
Don't look down.
Look straight at us.
Straight at us. Maryland?
That's another state.
That's another state. All right, I just realized I got to recalibrate these questions a little bit.
Here, I'll give you one.
All right, so it's Olympia, Washington.
I mean, the trick question, you would have said Seattle, but you weren't.
Did you know it was Olympia?
No, I'm not going to count, but I would not have guessed Maryland. I would not have guessed another state across the country.
Especially when you just said you're from.
Yeah.
It was just it was a fact. It was the most recent fact that had gone into his head. So he put it back.
Is this correct? I heard this one somewhere. Who was Bill Clinton's vice president?
Wow.
Olympia Dukakis.
Olympia Dukakis. How about a sports question? That'll help you out.
Sports. Yeah.
All right. What college did Joe Namath go to?
That's too old for him.
So I'll give you a more recent one. Let's see. What New England Patriot murdered somebody?
Come on.
Right,
Nice. So that's for the listeners who are into sports and gossip.
Yeah.
It's both for them. He was gay too, they say.
Did he kill more than one person? I think in college there was rumors that there was a couple people that he
There was
also...
somebody else, yeah.
Yeah.
And he killed himself. He went out doing what he loved, which is murdering.
Murder-suicide.
Yeah.
That's the way to go out, right?
It's like,
As a head nod to the people I murdered, I'd like to now take my own life.
Also murder.
Yeah. If you were going to kill yourself, would you do a murder-suicide?
Yeah.
Who would you murder?
I mean, anyone who's crossed me, I guess.
Yeah.
Just make sure on the way out they don't get to be like, see? I only lasted longer than him. It's like, we'll take no of that possibility. And I would just do, everywhere I go, I just have one of those pills with me, you know, those like suicide
Like in
pills.
your necklace?
Yeah, something sort of like they caught me and like I didn't have guns to like die by cop.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm taking it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, why not? Why wouldn't you kill?
Yeah.
There's some people like, I don't hate them that much to kill, but if it was easy and I guarantee I wouldn't get caught or I'm about to die anyway, why not?
I saw this guy, there was some noise in my alley the other day, so I went out, and this guy had a shaved head, and it said hate with a tattoo across his...
Jesus, that's aggressive. Who's
across
giving
his
that
forehead.
tattoo? Oh
Yeah.
my God.
And he was just a skeevy, muscly, dirty piece of garbage. And I just thought, what if I just killed that guy? Would I
kill him.
not be doing the world a favor? Is he doing anything positive in this world right now?
He should be like, I read once that iPhones have something like an 82% working rate and 18% that a new one you get just won't work.
Really?
Yeah. It's higher than you think. And I might have hit that with my leg. And so like, okay, but it's like, and the ones you don't work, you send back. So like, hey, this isn't working. Like, send it back. We'll give you a refurb,
Right.
whatever. Humans have to be like that too. Like, this one's just not working.
Right.
Put him down.
Well, they say that...
He's in an alley, which is the right place for that guy.
Well, they say that about... he's an alley dweller.
Yeah.
They say that about jobs and classrooms, is that it's the bottom 1% that are pulling everything down by 50%.
Wait, I have a quote. I don't understand that. I went to Medellin. I was there for 2 weeks doing Spanish classes, and I was the low.
Yeah.
And it was just like, I felt so bad slowing everyone down. Like,
Right.
I'm not getting any of this.
Right.
But yeah, that 1% will delay everybody. That's why you need special schools.
Yeah. Well, I was talking about on my last podcast, I had a buddy who... Did they have Bosie's in Maryland?
Bosie's?
Yeah.
Oh, the Bojangles? What are Bosie's? A restaurant chain?
Bosie's is like when you go to school and you're clearly not college bound. It teaches you a skill like engine repair, culinary arts, whatever.
I'll stop you right there. Zero of the middle to upper class Orthodox Jews were told that college is not for you.
Right. Maybe some were told graduate school wasn't for you.
Maybe. Yeah.
So anyway, so I was talking about
Bosie's,
how my friend went to culinary art school and has become very successful. And another guy I know went for engine repair, and he now owns a fleet of tow trucks. And but it's just like, not everybody's meant to be doing academic learning. It's fucking pointless to teach biology to a guy
you're wasting their time.
Right. And you're holding back the class.
Exactly. We're like, I'm not wrapping my head around. It's like, you know what? Actually, this ain't for you.
Yeah.
Just shift you over somewhere.
Right.
I would love to be able to change my oil.
Right.
Do some like real stuff. You got to teach basic math.
Yeah.
And give people a chance in case you get some like, I'm into this.
Well, when you do Bosie's, you don't go for the whole day. You still do your math class and you do whatever, but you don't have to do high level French classes and whatever.
And in the apocalypse, an engineer is like an actual someone who like electrician.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Right.
You'll always find work.
Yeah.
But we'll look down on you because you're dumb.
Yeah, there's something about people that work with their hands seem much happier. Like my brother-in-law is a construction guy. Fucking happiest guy I know. At the end of the day, you look at what you've done and you
can actually see something.
Yeah.
Yeah, you've built something.
Right.
It might not be super artistic, but it's like real. It's craftsy.
Right.
Yeah. You ever do something like gardening or like build a desk or something? I've done it like twice ever.
Yeah.
Probably back in, but you're like, I accomplished something.
I got into a woodworking phase with my son where like we built a go-kart.
What?
We built a really nice go-kart. Like, it took a while. Like, it had a fucking hood that opened and closed that had bungee cords in it so you could pull it up the hill with it.
Wow.
It had a little compartment in the back that the person would push like a luge, and then you had space for you to jump in.
Wow.
Had handles on the side to hold on. It had brakes, and then we built a tree fort that got totally out of control. Like, it started out as just like a simple structure, and then I attached it to the roof of the house, and then I attached it to the fence, and then to the tree, and then it had monkey bars, it had a fireman's pole, it had rock climbing wall going up to the rear entrance, it had a cabinet that locked completely that the kids would sleep in sometimes, and I just got and I had a script due, so I, of course, all I did was go to Home Depot and buy wood and work on it all fucking day. And I was so happy.
Wow. Damn.
Yeah, woodworking is fun.
It is nice when you build something. Maybe I should start doing something like that.
You never built anything?
I don't think, I mean, it's a long, long time ago.
Yeah.
Maybe gardening,
well, you've been
too.
living in apartments for a long time.
But I've had, like, live-in girlfriends who were like, you need something for, like, over the toilet to hold, like, toilet paper.
Yeah.
You know, the New York apartments are, like, nothing.
Yeah.
And then they build it. And I'm like, all right. And it's rickety. And I'll be like, this is all rickety. And they're like, well, what have you done? And you're like, fair enough. Rickety's fine.
That night she makes you go down on her and doesn't reciprocate.
And I'm not going to make noises. Just guess.
So what are you doing in L.A.?
Just doing podcasts.
Yeah?
Yeah. I was
You
like,
promote
fuck it.
anything?
Nah. I was like, just keep my name out there. You know, I don't know.
That's good.
My podcast went to YouTube, which is nice. But
What do you mean it went to YouTube?
I started putting it on YouTube about a year ago.
You never did video before?
Before the pandemic.
Oh, okay.
And then I was like, let me try it. So
Yeah.
I got that going.
It's a lot more work, isn't it?
For someone else. But yeah, money has to go to it.
Right.
For sure. But
Right.
still, like, look this over. It's a lot more work for not that much more. But still.
Well,
It's nice for clips.
the problem is be careful about fucking clips of like songs because they'll flag you and then they take all the money.
Yep. It used to be where I just use songs to put up on like my audio podcast. I try to put like a few songs in there to split up like a teaser to an intro to the podcast, podcast to outro, and just like thematic songs. So like I had Ingram on. We were talking about maybe you on. We were talking about fighting a long time ago. I probably had everybody's kung fu fighting and just like something to go with it.
Yeah.
Ingram was talking about diabetes, and I was like, pour some sugar on me. You know, just some fun. Usually like 30 seconds.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'm like, this song is great. I'm letting it play out.
All right.
And then I would take that whole thing and just put up over a picture on YouTube. And they're like, no, Sony's getting this and Warner Brothers.
Right.
But I was always like, okay.
Yeah. I just
50
lost
views.
a lot of money because we do a thing on Sunday Papers where we
Love those clips at Sunday Papers.
Oh, really?
They're always funny.
Oh,
I always
nice.
see them and I'm like, there's one of the very few like clips of a podcast that don't actively bother me.
Yeah.
I'll like read them and watch them.
Oh, very
Not read them,
nice.
watch them and just like, they're funny. They're
Cool.
great. Yeah.
So we always do an intro for the show that's done by, we've been doing it for 2 years, and every single episode has had a different theme song done by a listener. And people like, some of them are like, you know, like Rob Dukes, who's in a really famous heavy metal band.
Who's he? Primus? No.
No, he was in,
Like something with a lion in it.
wait, I have,
Genesis? Not
no,
Genesis.
why am I forgetting his name of his band?
A metal band, right?
Yeah, he's going to kill me. He's going to fucking kill me for forgetting. Anyway, see, if Tony was doing his job right now.
He's looking. That's why he's looking down. He's like, oh, Olympia's right.
And I'll give him a shout out. He's got his own podcast now that you guys should check out. That's really good, where he talks about his life. See, I'm not a metal guy, so that's why I don't know the bands.
You know what? Exodus. I knew it was something like
Exodus.
Genesis.
Yeah.
Exodus.
And now he's got a new band. What's his new band called?
He's got a podcast where he talks about tea called The Duke of Earl. It's Rob Duke just on a bunch of Earl Grey.
What? Generation Kill is his new band. Oh. So he's got this podcast. You should check it out. But anyway, it's as high level as like a fucking killer heavy metal band playing the song to like a guy who's high on GarageBand at 4 a.m.
Yeah.
And so we put them all on. But then somebody fucking copyrighted their songs. They like
their own.
They claimed ownership of the songs, and so they got all the money on all the podcasts that their songs went on. Yeah.
I'm like, come
So
on,
we
man,
got to
you did
stop
this for
doing
me.
that now. I know. So we're going to stop doing songs on Sunday papers.
They got to give you control. So I have a theme song for Ari Shaffir Skeptic Tank.
Yeah.
And it was this dude Pepper Goins in Alabama made it, and then it was covered by Willie Nelson's granddaughter. Yeah. But it was Ari Shaffir owns this song. This song belongs to Ari Shaffir. I do not own it. So like, man, it's yours. It was that. And then like it was a really nice mellow version of it that she did. I'm like, it's not even the original.
Great.
Yeah. So there's no question.
All right. I just had some notes and stuff I wanted to talk about. Sometimes I hate shitting, and sometimes I love taking a shit.
Well, I mean, is that the question? We're leading in. When do you hate it? When it doesn't come out right?
Sometimes it feels dirty. Like sometimes I take a shit and then I walk around all day and I feel dirty. Like I've still got poo. Even though I know I wiped and even used the bidet, I still feel.
But do you ever wipe like an hour later and be like, yeah, it's back? Yes, you can feel like it's not done.
Yeah, right.
It's oozing.
Yeah. And you realize that when you wipe, what are you wiping? Because if your anus is puckered up, that means it's holding some of the fucking dirt in the canal.
Yep.
And then later on, you relax and it opens up.
And then that comes pouring out.
Yep.
Yeah. I get some bloody dumps too.
Do you?
Oh yeah, I'm a bleeder, heavy bleed. When I don't bleed, it's notable. That's how often I bleed.
What is that all about?
It's like
hemorrhoids?
Inner. And I try to get them like rubber banded off. I did that procedure. You go in there, you tie a rubber band around. Not really. It hurts to just. I mean, he gapes your butt.
Yeah.
He's got to get like a hand in there.
Right.
And then you tie them off till there's no oxygen on them, and then they eventually die and fall off. You shit them out.
Right.
But then we got all of them, and it's still fucking bloody as ever.
Really?
It sucks. And then you got to wall up a bunch of toilet paper and just shove it in there because sometimes it won't stop bleeding. I'll take a shower.
Have you thought about using tampons?
Now I will not stop thinking about it.
You could get the smallest size tampon available.
Interesting. For like 4-year-olds who got those GMOs and they start the period early.
Old man, take a look at my life. I'm a lot like you.
Misinformation. 4-year-olds should not use tampons. They'd be so cute though. Yeah, maybe
they have like SpongeBob SquarePants on the string.
Yeah. Yeah, math homework. It'll be like, what is the cosine of this? You pull it out. Wow, that's too advanced. And you pull it out. I was like, oh, X. Yeah. So, and then eventually it'll stop.
Yeah.
But eventually, if I shower and I just keep wiping it, blood down.
Oh
wait,
my
it builds up blood down. It won't stop. I've ruined so many towels. Because you go shit shower, it's the best. Clean it.
It's the best.
No, not if you continue blood.
Wow.
I'm gonna have to have the full surgery, I guess. It's getting annoying.
How's your diet?
Okay.
Because roughage will give you softer stools.
Oh. I think maybe spicy food is attached to it, but I've never really done any math on it. Me and Red Band thought it was connected to the moon because he has it also, but I'm not sure that's true. He was like, maybe it's a moon cycle. I also shit blood yesterday. But it's every day.
Which is the worst because a full moon usually means romance. You're going to have sex that night. She puts her finger in your ass during sex.
You know how annoying it is to like be going upstairs, like, oh, hold on one second, and just having to like reach down behind some chick who's coming to your apartment and like take a fucking bloody wad of toilet paper and figure out what to put it behind if you don't have a chance to get to the bathroom.
Well, now you know what every girl who's ever menstruated has gone through.
Yeah. Give me 1 second. Let me just... pee, and then you have to take out their tampon. And you don't want to chuck it in the dude's apartment.
Right.
Because they'll know your dirty secret.
So you put it in the top of the bowl.
And leave it in there.
Yeah. You double.
And it'll be all red later
decker.
once you're out of there.
Yeah.
Dude, I pissed on a girl once by accident. I was sleeping next to her. And I pissed and woke up before she did. And I was like, fuck. I had to take some towels and like put them down like on the piss to soak it up. She's sleeping. And then I'm like, but it's all her towels. And then when I saw kind of mostly soaked up, she went to the bathroom. I took the towels and I was like, well, I got to do something with them. And I went to her kitchen. I put them in the fucking cabinet with all her like pans because she wasn't going to look there. And And eventually she was like, "Hey, where's the towel?" I'm like, "I don't know." She goes, "What? There's no fucking towels in here. What happened to my towels?" She lived alone.
Yeah.
I don't know. And
was this a one night stand?
no, it was a girlfriend.
Yeah.
It was a comedian. You know her.
No.
Yeah. And I guess she must have found the towels months later.
You stole Leslie Jones' towels.
I didn't take them. I just moved them in her place.
You know what you should have done if she was still sleeping?
Yeah.
Pissed on her vagina and accused her of doing
That
it.
would have been smart. What did you...
Move
what are
her
you
over to the
doing?
wet spot. Yeah.
Move her over.
Yeah.
She's like, "What's wet?" Like, "Yeah, what is wet?" Ugh, look at you. Disgusting. Disgusting.
Why don't you get some towels?
I love in my reenactment in it, I wouldn't be like, "It's okay. It happens." I'd be super like hurtful to her. I wouldn't forgive her like I want to be forgiven.
Right, exactly. A minute before, all you wanted was forgiveness.
Look at you.
And thinking like nobody ever forgives anybody.
That is the problem with the world right now, or at least our world.
There's no forgiveness. There's no forgiveness. No, there's really not.
You can't even do something good. They'd be like, "Where was that then?" They were like, "Now you're focusing on this negative thing." I love when people bring up, like, I think I had Racine on. I just posted a clip of his stand-up, and somebody's like, "This is good." Maybe something was about trans. I don't know. It goes, "Not when Dave Chappelle did it," or people saying Dave Chappelle went too far. And I'm like, why are you bringing this up here?
Yeah.
Even if you're standing with Dave Chappelle, why is this? This is the clip you're watching now.
Yeah.
You're mired in this negative, awful stuff for no reason. You're bringing up old shit. Everyone just loves bringing up old shit.
Meanwhile, there's nothing that is as sublime and beautiful as asking for forgiveness. That is one of the great human experiences.
And then it's almost always like granted with tears.
Yeah.
Like, "Oh my God, thank you."
Yep.
For saying that. Maybe somebody will take like one extra shot. They're like, "Yeah, well, you shouldn't have said this."
Yeah. And you roll with that.
And you're
you
like,
go, yeah.
"Okay, that's fair because I did wrong you."
Yeah.
And then it's just over.
Yep. And then if it's not over, you know to take that person out of your life.
Exactly. Like, "Hey man, I'm sorry I fucked you over before, but I'm done with it. I fully own up to it." As long as you own up to something, I can assume that you won't do it again.
Yeah.
But if you fucked my girlfriend, let's say, and then like you never say you're sorry, I'm like, well, I'm not going to bring my next girlfriend around you. Like, I think you'll try again. You know, if you stole a joke. You're
saying that if a guy fucked your girlfriend, you could find it in your heart to forgive them if they ask for forgiveness?
10 years later, something like that, from high school, and like, "Hey man, I know." Or maybe not a full
maybe
girlfriend.
High school.
Maybe someone you went on 2 dates with. You know,
okay.
shit like that.
Fair enough.
Or they stole a joke or something like that. It was like, "Hey, I didn't do it on purpose, but I was wrong to, once I found out that was your joke, I should have stopped and I didn't."
Yeah.
Okay.
Right. Because it shows growth.
Yeah, I ate all your leftovers. It was a roommate situation. I shouldn't have.
Right.
Like, look, now I can trust the kitchen, the fridge with my stuff. Otherwise, I think you will do it again.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's such a good thing to ask for forgiveness. You guys do program guys. Get that fucking well.
Well, I'm not a program guy.
You're not a program guy.
No, not real. Well, I would say I'm influenced by it. I went to Al-Anon for a couple years before before I even quit drinking. I was still drinking, but I went because of my father when I was like 21. And I think the tenets of the 12 steps stuck with me. And I do readings. There's a great book by Ann Beatty. Yeah. It's just daily meditations that are drawn from the 12 steps.
Oh wow!
And they're really helpful. It's really great.
And they got some good ideas. But that forgiveness thing is just like it's so nice also to be like, "Hey, I'm done with it." To forgive somebody. To be like, "I'm not going to be mad at you anymore."
Right.
To be like, "I get it. I get what you were doing."
Yeah.
Let's just say it was the girlfriend thing. Like some hot chick came onto you.
Yeah.
And you were fucking 17 and full of spunk and stuff. And so you're like, "Yeah, sure. I would have done the same thing."
Yeah.
Like Kanye's mad at Pete Davidson. Is like, "What are you mad at? That he thinks Kim Kardashian is hot?"
Yeah.
What are you doing? Are you crazy? Of course he does. He doesn't know you.
Right.
Relax.
Yeah.
Yeah, I made a joke about a girl's in like high school summer job. We would take the metro back together. And I made a joke about her grandpa died or something. There was an unveiling. Jews do an unveiling. I don't know if Christians do that.
Yeah.
A year later, they put the headstone on.
Oh, okay.
First year, you're in like a limbo situation, so I guess they don't put the headstone on. And then after a year, they present the headstone.
Well, I think they're waiting for the earth to settle.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Oh, damn, interesting. Maybe. But anyway, so I was like, what's that unveiling? You're going to take his butt? Just some jokes, and she wasn't feeling it.
Yeah.
But I was like, whatever. It's just jokes, obviously.
Yeah.
And then it hit me later, like, she wasn't in the mood. So I was like, hey, I'm really sorry about that.
Yeah.
And we ended up hooking up. Because she was just like so overwhelmed.
Moral of the story.
Yeah. You want your dick sucked? She didn't suck my dick, but go give that apology.
Yeah.
It's so nice. Little things. Just be like, hey, I did this. I saw fucking O'Neill do it to Edgar when we were all camping.
Yeah.
He goes, hey, man, when we were open micers and when we were like door guys up there, I used to torture you during your sets and heckle you.
Uh-huh.
He goes, and it was just 15 years earlier. He goes, I should never have done that.
Yeah.
And Edgar was like, it made me stronger, but it hurt for sure.
Yeah.
And he goes, and you were way funnier than me, so the crowd had to turn back. I'm like, who's this guy in the back getting laughs?
Uh-huh.
But it was almost like weighing on O'Neill.
Yeah.
It's like, I shouldn't have done that to you. And then they were both like, cool, sweet, let's do
And
some
I
mushrooms.
think the act of asking for forgiveness lets you forgive yourself, too.
I shouldn't have done that, so let me own up to it. All you got to do is own up to it.
Right.
I've had one guy ever who said anything bad publicly about me come back to me and be like, or at least comedian, come back and be like, hey, man, I said some shit about you and I shouldn't have, and I apologize. It's like, sweet. That's
Who
awesome.
was it?
Jimmy Martinez.
Don't know.
He's a comedian. Yeah. Any of the big comics, they could never do that.
Yeah, there's a comic that just talks some shit about me on his podcast. And
For real or just like?
No, for real.
Okay.
And you'll get it when I tell you who it is afterwards. And I'm really debating whether or not to go on a full attack. Because I can attack the shit out of this guy.
You would not want to go head to head with Fitzsimmons.
It's not fair to them. But then do I want all of his fans? Like, do I want to start all that?
Is it worth your trouble? Let's go back to that fucking parking lot security guard.
Yeah.
Is it worth going to court later and doing all this stuff?
Right.
It's like, but he was wrong. It's like, I know, but then how much punishment do you do yourself?
Yeah. Yeah, in Eastern philosophy, they talk about litigation as the lowest form of human behavior.
Yeah.
That you want to avoid litigation at all costs, because all it does is take negative energy and extend it.
Wow. Yeah. I've done this before. I'm like, hey man, I heard something you said, and just so you know, like, do whatever you want. It's your act or your podcast or whatever. But like, I didn't like it at all. I think that was really a sellout move on your part. But I'm moving on from it. But just so you know, I noticed it and it bothered me.
Right. I could say that to him.
Okay, if you're not like enemies with him, like, hey man, I saw what you said, and that rubbed me really wrong. I thought it was bullshit.
Just take the high road.
Just letting you know.
Yeah.
I didn't care for it at all.
Right.
In case you're hoping I didn't hear it or did, whatever. I did, and I hated it. Yeah. I've helped
all right,
you
as soon as I see Bobby Lee, I'm going to...
And I want to know who it is so bad. I'm starting to really not name names in podcasts.
I want to know who the girl is that you peed on.
Yeah.
Jesus.
It's just not fair. Shane did a podcast about somebody he hooked up with in high school.
Yeah.
Who dumped him in like junior year. And then he mentioned a detail about her life now.
And he said her real name?
Her real first name. And one or two crazies found her.
Yeah.
Because she's still in that town. It was like, you fucked up, dumping Shane, you fucking idiot. And he had to be like, guys, never reach out to anyone. What is wrong with you guys?
Yeah.
So you mentioned anyone's name now. It's like you can think it's at least possible. Someone will look them up and hurt them in some way emotionally. So it's almost like just make up names or just say, I can't tell you.
I was saying a girl's name from high school, and I was talking about jerking off to her, and I said her real name.
The real name's, it does sound, it's a better story.
It's a better story.
When you say Mary Dicoletto, it's just way cooler than just saying a girl from high school.
Right. And I was talking about jerking off to her, and then I got an email to my website from her husband.
No.
And he wasn't, it was just like what you said. He goes, hey, I heard your podcast, and I heard what you said about my wife, and I just don't think it's cool. And he just left it at that, which was so much worse than, hey, fucking hacky douchebag, because then I could have gone.
Go back at him.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, also it's like, well, I'm not talking about your wife. I'm talking about the chick from high school that I knew. Yeah, I guess she kept going. Or like, her kids will hear. What are you doing?
Yeah.
I didn't think.
She was 15, and Jesus Christ, this girl, man. There's always one girl in every grade that is just, I mean, she had...
And she gave you a hand job or a BJ?
She didn't even look at me.
Oh,
that's what made it so hot.
Yeah.
Because then you can jerk off to her.
To it. Oh,
I can take your image home with me and defile it.
Sean Rouse used to have that. He goes, I don't like porn. I like using my imagination because that way I control the action.
Yeah, I mean, in high school, the thing is like we didn't have. I mean, I don't know. You're younger than I am, but we didn't have
masturbation when I was young too. Word got around. You guys started it off, and we kept it going.
Did you have porn on the internet?
Way.
No,
not even like dial-up. We got dial-up later.
Right. So we really did have vivid imaginations. And when you masturbated and you fantasized about a girl, a lot of it was scenario. It was setting.
They're coming in. You're already masturbating where they're coming in the room.
Yeah.
And it's like, hi. You know, and it's like, oh.
And you could do that to a girl who wouldn't talk to you. You could put her in your little play.
It's nuts now.
Yeah.
It's nuts. You could put her in a little play and like, I think I hooked up. Oh, no, I just masturbated a lot to her. That's right. That's right. No, never saw her naked.
That's right.
But I feel like I've seen her naked and touched her milky, cool boobs.
That's why it's amazing when you ever know a girl, find her attractive, and then find out she's done some like nude scenes in movies.
Okay. There was a chick who worked the front bar at the store. Oh, we're at the store right now.
Yeah.
And she was hot. And we're like, what do you do? So I'm an actress. Like, what have you been in? The movie Clay Pigeons. I was like, wait, what? I just saw that like 3 months ago. What were you in Clay Pigeons? She goes, I was early. I went on a date with Vince Vaughn early on. I'm like, oh, you had a sex scene. And then it hit me like, I've jerked off to you. Whoa. Oh, yeah. And it was like unsettling.
All of a sudden, you can't make eye contact with her. You're way over tipping her.
I should have called you back. She's like, no, I just met you now. I'm like, damn it, none of this is.
She's like, $200 for a Sprite. That seems a lot.
Those are Phoenix strip club prices.
Yeah, there was a girl who was a comedian in Boston, and then she came out to L.A. to get into movies, which people didn't. You know, when we were coming up in Boston, nobody used the word career. Nobody thought about becoming an actor because it didn't exist back then.
Right.
You were just doing stand-up to do, So this girl goes out to L.A. to become an actress, and we're all fucking laughing. And cut to like, we don't hear anything. It's not happening. And then like a good 3 years later, somebody's got a fucking half-inch videotape of a softcore Showtime. Remember Showtime used to do the softcore porns?
They'd move together.
Yeah, they'd move together, the two-headed monster. Yeah. And that was it. We all copied it. And I mean, we went to town because she had the most killer body.
And she went to be an actress.
Yeah.
And she was doing softcore porn.
She ended up doing softcore porn.
Fuck.
Yeah.
Ooh, dream deferred. to quote the great Martin Luther King in this situation.
Dream deferred.
A dream deferred is a dream denied. Fuck.
Yeah. Have you ever dated a porn star or had sex with a porn star?
I wanted to. I tried to hook up with one once, and she was like, friend zoned me. I'm like, what? I drove all the way out here? What? I just assumed it was done.
Right.
I'm at a porn star's house. What a fucking loser, now that I think about it.
You went to her house?
Yeah, I went to her house, and we just hung out. What a fucking dork loser I was. I'm at a porn star's house not getting laid. Who the fuck does that? God damn, I suck.
Were you making her laugh?
Yeah, I guess so. I thought it was done.
So you were doing what you were supposed to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It wasn't like I'm bringing a body to the fucking table.
Right.
She was.
Right.
God damn.
Jesus.
Have you ever hooked up with a porn star?
I've been married for 22 years, so I never really enjoyed the fruits of being a very, very, very low-level celebrity.
I fucked a stripper.
Oh, that's good.
That's in Portland. Yeah, that was nice. But she was.
Did you meet her at the strip club?
Rogan hooked it up. He's like, he knew her, and he was like, hey, my friend Ari's coming to town. He's cute.
Yeah.
He like really like paved the path for me.
So she came to a show?
No, I met her. She might have, but I met her at, we talked online a little bit, that I met her at a strip club. But I think I didn't like, she goes, do you want a private dance? I was like, okay, knowing we're going to hook up. And then she gave me one. It was like $20.
No.
I was like, what? She goes, you want another one? I was like, no. Like, wait, what? That's not gratis?
And then that night you hooked up?
Yeah.
I would ask for the $20 back.
Yeah, what the fuck are you doing?
Yeah.
That's not your work.
That's weird.
Imagine if I'm like, hey, help me, like, I can't figure out this joke. And you're like, what is it? I'm like, oh, you want to replace these words. It's such a good joke, right?
Yeah.
Make this word at the end.
Yeah.
And then, like, what else is there? I'm like, and then you do it. I'm like, oh, cool, that works. Like, so my rates are, to help people with material, my rates are $40 an hour. So just give me like $30. I'd be like, what? We're friends.
Right.
I'm not trying to take advantage of you, lady, but like, we're about to fuck.
That's
without a condom.
Really?
Yeah, it was a mistake.
Did you catch anything?
No.
Then it was not a mistake.
Fucking tatted up stripper from Portland. And I'm like, the whole next week, I'm like, dude, then you're just never going to wear a condom.
Yeah.
Can you just commit to that, to just knowing you're just going to get herpes or something?
Yeah.
Because this is the moment.
Right. And I hosted the Porn Awards twice.
That's a shitty gig, huh?
It's a shitty gig if you're married and you don't cheat on your wife.
Ugh. Did they try? Were they coming on to you at all?
I do a joke.
Dance carefully.
I do a joke about it in my act, and I did at the time in my act. I did it when I hosted the Porn Awards. I said, I was at the bar last night hanging out, and then this porn star came up, and she found out I was the host of the show, and she's like, hey, you want to say some nice shit? If you say some nice shit about me tomorrow night, I'll suck your dick. And I was like, hey, I'm married. Have some dignity yourself. I mean, what is... Anyway, Jessie Jane is one of the great porn actresses of our day, but there really was a girl that offered to blow me
to say
some nice stuff.
Because also it means nothing to them.
Nothing.
That's the thing when they talk about Harvey Weinstein. This is going to get me in trouble, but like America views it as like, what? He made you have sex with him for this? But it's like we're talking about actresses. LA actresses who are fucking 5 different dudes every week randomly. It's not your mom. Their version of what they're giving away for sex is so far below what any normal person gives away for sex. Uh-huh. When a porn star says, I'll blow you, that means nothing. It's like when they were suing colleges for fucking not paying athletes.
Yeah.
The dude from UCLA. And they're like, we'll give you a diploma. He goes, those are free for you. That's like a restaurant giving you a hamburger.
Yeah.
It's not costing them anything.
Right.
So it's like, it's not quite the same story.
Wow.
They don't rape anybody, but like the idea is like, it's like they just blew a producer yesterday for a part.
Right.
They're not breaking the seal on that.
So you're not excusing it, but you're trying to give it some
context.
Some context.
An young LA actress is fucking nonstop. Mm-hmm. You know what it's like here.
Yeah, I don't.
Oh yeah, you don't. Coke's going around. It's fun. It was like, as a producer, maybe I'll blow him. That shit's real. So if you're like Maya Bialik or whatever, and you ask her for a blowjob, it's like, fuck no. How dare you? I've had sex with 3 dudes ever. But if it's some random fucking actress whore, like, all right.
It's so weird.
It's fine to ask.
It's so weird to be a part of this world and not to be sober and monogamous.
Damn,
and be part of the but I always think about like how I think some comics look at me like, oh yeah, he's like the guy who's like a good guy, and it's like, right. Meanwhile I'm a fucking in my mind I'm a degenerate piece of garbage, and I was before I got married.
Yeah.
But
you just don't act on it anymore.
I don't act on it anymore, and I feel like depending on the comic, I feel the range from anywhere between adulation and respect to pity.
I'd probably pity you because I know you're not like some fucking nerd.
Yeah.
So I'm like, damn. Yeah. Sorry you have to go through this.
Yeah.
Sorry you have to have this fun, nice life with kids who love you.
Yeah.
Feel really bad.
It is a weird thing to, I'm at the age now, I'm 55, where you really are looking back and you're saying like you're, how old are you?
48, but I'm still trying to live like I got more in my future.
I was going to say, like, you live your life still with, you could make big changes. You could make real, like, what's the word? Shifts, seismic shifts.
Yeah.
In your life.
I did move to New York 10 years ago. I'll move again.
Yeah. I kind of can't. I don't have that flexibility anymore.
Yeah.
So do you think you'll make any big...
I think I'll probably move.
Where do you think you'll move to?
London.
Yeah. There you go.
I'm ready for some new adventure.
I think the stand-up scene is really cool there, too.
It is. And also, it's behind us.
You friends with Jimmy Carr?
Yeah.
Yeah, he'll take care of you.
He always has.
Yeah.
It's crazy without asking. And you forget how big he is there because I've just met him at festivals here or shit like that. So it's just like a nice guy. We did a walk once from like our show at somewhere to go see Ryan Hamilton in Montreal, the Montreal Festival. He got stopped 40 times. And it's like, how big are you, Jimmy? And he goes, I'm quite big.
Yeah.
It's like, what? Like, I just didn't get it.
Dude, James Corden is like that over there too.
Really?
Yeah. And the thing about Jimmy Carr is like,
No, he tweeted from my Edinburgh shows. He was like, go see Ari. He's a great
shit.
name.
Really?
Unasked, he goes, hey, what time's your show? I'm like, it's this. Why? He goes, don't worry about it.
That probably helped, right?
Tremendously.
Really?
He's one of the most respected comics there.
Yeah.
He's humongous.
Yeah.
You get a lead like that, people are like, I'm going to see 5 shows a day. Jimmy Carr said this guy. Let's check that one out.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah, he's just cool and
He's
nice.
so good. He's such a good comic, but it's so hard to break
too.
into the U.S. I don't know how much headway he's made in the U.S. It's like, we don't like British comics. When I say we, I mean American audiences don't seem to embrace them.
That kind of comedy is so accessible, too. It's just like...
It's so dark
you're not talking about the Tories or anything. It's just like one-liners, really great one-liners.
Right.
He does great at Montreal in Canada.
If you like Anthony Jeselnik, check out Jimmy Carr.
For sure. Yeah, so guys like that, I know a few guys like that already.
Yeah.
And I just think it'd be fun.
That would be fun.
New restaurants, new things.
I'll come visit.
Okay. I'll get you high in another country.
I would love it.
Yeah.
Are we getting high after this podcast?
We could. I haven't gotten anything yet.
No.
We could take a trip down to the original one down Sunset and La Cienega.
There's an original pot shop in L.A.?
One of the original 8.
Really? Zen
Dispensary. They from what I know is they're the ones. So Zen Dispensary, Oaksterdam, in Oakland.
Yeah.
Some other ones. They had 8 got grandfathered in. So even if the feds came and said kill everything, they're like, those 8 were like, yeah, you're not going to touch those.
Yeah.
So they had a secret meeting, but it was still operating this weird like loophole law. It's medicinal. So if you claim it's medicinal, it's like, and so they're just like waiting to hold off on it. They had this meeting and go, guys, let's pay taxes. And there was a big fight. Like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
We're tax-free right now. Because I know, but we're making hand over fist. And there's always a chance they're going to take this away from us. You got to remember, this is back when California was the only one doing this, medical marijuana. And it was like, I don't know if it'll continue. To get a prescription was like, well, are you sure? So they go, let's just give taxes. Like, what do you mean? It's like, operate like we're a real store, like a shoe store.
Yeah.
Let's give them the sales tax that we'd pay if we sold shoes.
Right.
And they hemmed and hawed, and they finally decided to do it. And they just started dropping bags of cash to their front door in Sacramento. And the government was like, fuck. And it's like, hey, let's not like give these guys shit anymore. Let's actually protect them and let it grow.
Right.
There was like, here's fucking $500 million right to start with.
Wow.
And then they're like, okay, no one will touch you.
That's all it takes.
Yeah. And then it spread to the whole country now.
That's amazing.
Yeah. But that place down there, Zen Dispensary, Santa Monica and La Cienega.
All right, well, let's go do it. Ari, anything? So nothing to plug. Just go to your website.
Get on my website, arishaffir.com. Yeah, I got Denver's doing really well. I think it's sold out in February. Tampa. Comedy Works. Tampa. Me, Bobby Kelly, and Big J are doing
Side splitters in Tampa?
No.
You working the Improv?
Working the Improv. But they gave me 2 weeks in a row in Orlando, and then I had to cancel one for COVID.
Yeah.
So now it's a makeup. But me, Bobby Kelly, and Big J are doing 2 dates in Michigan in March. 25th,
just so you
26th.
can take a third of a paycheck?
Exactly. We're doing one in Grand Rapids and one in Detroit at 25th and 26th. So get tickets for that. Yeah.
Nice.
I don't know. We just want to have fun.
And your podcast is The Skeptic Tank.
Ari Shaffir Skeptic Tank. And I don't know.
Your new YouTube content.
YouTube / Ari Shaffir. Yeah, I don't know. Guys, I'm just having fun.
All right.
I'm trying to have fun with comedy and just fucking enjoy myself and have fun meeting my friends again.
Yeah.
Tell people like, what podcast are you doing? I'm like, Fitz. And they're like, oh, hell yeah.
Nice.
Who told me to say hi to you? Oh, Joe Harari from The Stand.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, everybody loves you out there.
Yeah, God, I wish I was doing stand-up in New York more. Every time I can carve out, like Christmas, I had shows in Florida on Christmas, and then New Year's Eve I was up in Connecticut.
So like, why not just go?
And I flew to New York for just 2 nights.
Yeah.
One night I went and saw a Tell headline Caroline's, and then I did a couple spots. Next night I did fucking spot, and it's like, I can't tell you how good it feels to do stand-up in New York City. It just...
Great. It's great. It's the truth. It's like
it's
you're going.
The truth.
Whenever they say like, "Oh, this guy's just doing this jokes for his fans," I'm like, none of these are your fans. This is like your front lines of like hitting people with like dark stuff.
Yeah.
And like they'll laugh if it's funny but they don't come in liking you. They don't know you.
Right.
It's great. It's
Yeah.
just it's underground basements and fucking
Yeah.
we're gonna hear some shit.
Yeah.
The people who know go to those shows all the time. They just know like this is dark.
Yeah, and the way you can run around to different shows, you really get a groove on by the end of the night. It's so awesome.
You're a performer there.
Yeah, it's great.
You're not a clown. Yeah, it's great. I have a spare bedroom. You can stay.
Oh, really?
Yeah, air mattress, but a nice.
Oh,
air
now
mattress.
that you're single, yeah.
Yeah. Or we
So
can
you
hang out
kept it-
together.
You kept that same apartment?
No, I got a new one.
Oh, you
When I
did?
came back from Ecuador. I got a new one.
You're back in East Village now?
Love it.
Yeah.
Love it. Although I was walking my dog, and she after we go to the dog park, she loves to go to chase the squirrels in like these long flower beds.
Uh-huh.
She went into one, and I was like, no. She like stops. It's 18 just needles all over the fucking flower bed.
Oh, no shit.
Fucking heroin addicts. If you're listening,
Guys.
please. I'm not saying don't do heroin. I'm just saying
Yeah.
clean up the needles.
Just-
or put them in a pile.
Yeah.
Let the gardeners do it.
Give them to a friend.
We use them for someone who doesn't have a lot of money.
Recycle, reuse, whatever.
This is only one Earth.
All right. Thank you very much, and thank you to the Comedy Store for hosting us this week.
Now let's
Frank
gossip
did a
about all
nice
this shit.
job, and I have to say my dates? I think I already said my dates earlier. Yeah, I did an intro for this podcast earlier, and I said my dates. So that's it. All right. Thanks, man. Great hanging out.
Yeah, you too.
All right. See ya.